So I just wanted to make a video talking about how I made this animation video because it kind of blew up a little bit and a lot of people want to see how I made the video. So first of all, it's all coded in Java, and then I used Blender to process the images, and that's the simplest explanation. Now I'm going to show how I actually did that, but I'm just going to say I'm not going to go into like the actual coding of the image filter and like the pixel sorting algorithm. I think I'm going to designate a whole separate video just for that. But right now I'm going to show how I actually made the animation. So here is a program. This commented out section. This is what actually is going to create the image sequence. But here is just kind of give you an introduction about how the program actually works. Now this just creates the frame and the window that will show the image. And here we're creating an image. And this is the file directory. Now I don't know, you might guys already might know this, but if you put the image in the Java project folder, instead of having to type out the whole file directory like here, you just have to type in the name of the image. And that allows you to pull it up in the program. So I'm creating this pixel image. This is what's going to allow me to actually apply the filters to it. And when I talk about how I made the program, I'll go into more depth about all this. And then I'm going to apply the filter. And right now this little parameter in here, that specifies how extreme the filter is going to be. And it goes anywhere from 255 down to -1, and that's just complete full pixel sort without any like temperance, without any details being kept. So if I run the program here, here's our image. You see there's a little bit of sorting going on, and if I change this to be 25, the effect is going to be a lot more extreme. Now we can see that here. So now let's get into how I actually created the animation. Now this is the program I used to create the animation. And what it does, it's a for loop, and it loops from 255 down to -1. And as it loops, it creates a new pixel image each time, and it applies this pixel sort filter to it, but with X as the parameter. So it's going to go from 255 to -1. And when X is at 255, the pixel sorted image is going to be exactly the same as the unpixel sorted image when 255 is the parameter, because of how the code works. But when it goes to -1, the image is going to be 100% pixel sorted with no details kept at all. So that's going to loop through and create all these images, and each time it creates the new image, it's going to save that image to a folder I have in my downloads called a Pixel Sort Animation Tutorial. And each time this new image is created, this string is going to designate the file directory, and it's going to change the name each time. So what we end up with is a sequence that's numbered. So our first image is going to be 255. 255 minus 255 is 0. So the name of this image is going to be animation0.jpg. And then once it decrements to 254, we're going to get animation1.jpg. And that's going to keep going until we get to animation 255 once x is -1.jpg. And that will give us our sequence of images in order, so we can easily just put that into, eventually we're going to put that into Blender, and everything's going to be in order, so we just let the Blender do the hard work to sequence all the images. So yes, we're going to, this string is going to designate the file directory, and then we're going to use the image io.write function to actually save the image to the file directory. And this is the string, JPEG, and then this .getImage function is it's a method from the pixel image class which returns the buffer image of the pixel image. And then we're gonna catch the IO exception. And once I run this program, it's going to go through, sort all the photos, and then store it in the file directory. And I'll go ahead, compile it, we'll run the program, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so the program finished running, and it probably took less than a minute. But now we have all of our images stored in this folder, and you can see they're all in order. It goes from 0, and the pixel sorting, here's the thing, the pixel sorting, you can't really tell until about 50, at least above 50, is when you can start actually seeing it happen. So if I go to like 112, you can see it starting to go. And by the time I get down to 256, it's just completely sorted here. So you can see it kind of has its form for the rest of them. Like this one's cool. It keeps its form, but once it gets here, it's just fully sorted. There's nothing left. So now we're going to take this sequence of images and we're going to actually put it into Blender and create the video now. Alright, so I've loaded up Blender now, and we are going to start actually turning those images that we made into an animation. So first, we're going to go from the 3D viewport to the video sequencer. Now before we do anything, we're going to want to make sure our output is correct. So go to this output tab here, and first we're going to change the location. So right now it's going to save it somewhere, but I want this video to go to my downloads. So I'm just going to have it go to my downloads. Then we want to change the format to FFmpeg video. And for the encoding, I like to do MPEG 4 and then do perceptually lossless for the output quality. Now when we render it, it's going to create a video and put it into our downloads folder. Now before we actually start creating the animation, we want to make sure we're only getting the parts where there's actually action going on, right? Because the way the pixel sorting works is for a big chunk it's going to look like nothing's going on and then it's all going to happen. So what I like to do is I like to go back into the folder with all the images and kind of see where you can actually start seeing it happen and just delete all the photos before that. Otherwise the video is much longer than it needs to be. So as you can see, I think I'm going to go to about 85. You can already see stuff going on. Let's go to like 60. Now you can see this looks exactly the same as like the first image. So this is why it's important to, you know, cut a few of the photos. So let's just go. Let's delete everything from 57 to 1. You can just delete everything here. And now it should be pretty seamless. See? From the first image, there's barely any difference, just some difference in the glimmering of the water. So that's going to make the video go by a lot quicker and you can actually see the effect happening a lot faster. But this step was completely optional. So let's add those in. We're going to press add, image sequence, then we're going to go to our folder where we have all our images. And they're all in order thanks to how we have them named. So we're just going to go ahead and select all of them, and press add image strip. So the length is 200, so we're going to change the in frame to 200 so it matches the length of the video. Make sure everything's lined up. Now we're going to go hit render, render animation. Now you just sit back and watch the animation happen. There we go. It didn't take too long, probably like 30 seconds at most. But now, if we check our files, we're going to have the video downloaded. So in my downloads folder, here we go. We have it as an MP4 video. We can watch it back. There it goes. So you can edit it, mess around, and in Blender you can try flipping the frames. You can have them go backwards, so it could show it going from like the mess, then going back to normal. That's kind of what I did in my video. I switched things up, but that's the basic, how I created the animation in case people were curious. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be creating the video going into the depth about what the Java program is actually doing and how I created the Java program. But I just wanted to show what I did to create the animation, just to maybe give people ideas. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to see something else. If you have any ideas about what kind of content you want me to make, go ahead and leave a comment. And I'll see you soon.